Leona here again, and I just wanted to address some questions that have been raised through our social media platform and also by clients directly who've called. A question that we've heard quite a bit since the unprecedented level of concern regarding COVID-19 is what happens in relation to school if you choose to take your children out of school, and how and does that affect your parenting regime or the arrangement that you have in place with your partner. So I guess the first thing to realize is this is new for everyone, and it's going to be confusing. In an ideal scenario, you and your partner will communicate about what's happening. You'll communicate about the care of the children, and you'll make joint decisions as much as you can as to whether they go to school, whether they stay home, and if they're ill, how they're treated. There is a presumption under the law that there is equal shared parental responsibility, and if you have court orders, it will generally indicate that in the orders, except in some rare circumstances where it might indicate one party has sole parental responsibility. So the answer to the question often depends upon if you have orders in place or not. If you have some orders in place that provide for you to have equal shared parental responsibility, that provides that you're to make joint decisions about things like schooling, and you're to make joint decisions about things regarding health. In circumstances like that, as much as possible, you should be communicating with your ex in relation to any concerns you have about the children's attendance. If you make a decision while the children are in your care not to send them to school, unless your partner expresses some extreme concern as to why that's not happening, and it would be difficult for them to do so in the current climate, there shouldn't be a problem if you're doing that in the time that the children are with you. So if you're a father and you have the children on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday of each week, and you elect in your time that you don't want the children to go to school because you have concerns regarding their health and safety in this current climate, that's a decision you make. You should be able to verbalize it to your ex-partner so that they're aware of those concerns. Then if the child is handed over to the other parent in their designated time, they can make the decision. Now, like I said, this is unprecedented. We haven't had a situation in living history where the health of the community has been affected in the way that it currently is. So there are no clear answers. When you refer to court orders, you can make decisions within those court orders as to the time that you have with the children. You should always be communicating with your ex. Even if your level of communication has historically been really strained, I would recommend that you try and reach out so that the children have consistency. It's always about trying to obtain what's in the best interests of your children and avoiding them having any anxiety or mixed messages about what's safe and what's not safe is really important at this time. If you have any specific questions about what it means to you in your circumstances, again, please don't hesitate to give us a call. If you have a situation where there are no orders in place and you've had an ad hoc arrangement since separation that provides for the children to spend certain time with certain parents, then there is a presumption again that you will jointly make decisions, but you don't have court orders that dictate the time and space and the requirements in relation to where the children will be and who they will be spending time with. If you have made a decision not to send your children to school and you don't have court orders, again, I'd recommend that you communicate with your partner in relation to that and dictate why. You might have made that decision because you have an elderly parent who's frail or who has the possibility of being exposed, and that's something that you're trying to avoid. So communication, although can be very difficult with your ex, is really key at this time. If that communication is very strained and you can't have face-to-face communication or even a telephone call is too difficult, I again recommend that you send an email or you use one of the parenting apps, and as best you can, you work towards the best needs of your children by being really clear about why decisions are being made and trying to acknowledge the circumstances behind that decision. Again, if you have any questions in relation to anything that's specific regarding your circumstances, please don't hesitate to give us a call and we'll try and help in any way that we can. Thank you.